The coin you are holding appears to be a 1968 Singapore 20 cents coin, which belongs to the very first generation of circulating coinage issued by Singapore after gaining independence. This coin was introduced during an important transitional period when Singapore was establishing its national identity, including its own currency system separate from the Malaya and British Borneo dollar that had previously been in use. The 1968 issue is part of Singapore's original coin series that helped stabilize the country's newly formed monetary structure under the Board of Commissioners of Currency, Singapore. These coins were struck not only for everyday use but also as a symbol of sovereignty and economic confidence in the late 1960s when the country was rapidly developing its financial infrastructure and trade-based economy. The design of the 1968 20 cents coin reflects a clean and symbolic style rather than complex artistic imagery, which was common in many newly independent nations at the time. On the reverse side, the large denomination, 20, is prominently displayed in the center, with the word, cents, written below it, surrounded by stylized rice stalks forming a partial wreath around the outer edge. These rice stalks symbolize prosperity, growth, and agricultural heritage, representing the hope for abundance and progress in the country's future. The Singapore curves along the right side, while the year, 1968, appears above the denomination. The rim is slightly raised to protect the design from wear, which is why many of these coins still retain visible detail even after decades of circulation. The obverse side of the coin typically features the national coat of arms of Singapore, including the lion and tiger supporters holding a shield bearing a crescent moon and 5 stars, which represent a young nation on the rise guided by ideals of democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality. Beneath the shield is a banner inscribed with the national motto, Majulah Singapura, meaning, Onward Singapore. This imagery reinforces national unity and pride, especially significant during the post-independence years when Singapore was working to define its place on the global stage as a modern trading hub in Southeast Asia. In terms of composition, the 1968 Singapore 20 cents coin was minted using a cupronickel alloy, which typically consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This metal combination gives the coin its silver-like appearance while also providing durability and resistance to corrosion. The coin weighs approximately 5.66 grams and measures about 23.6 millimeters in diameter, making it slightly larger than many modern 20-cent coins. The edge of the coin is milled or reeded, which was intended as an anti-counterfeiting measure as well as to make the coin easier to grip and distinguish by touch. From a collector's perspective, the 1968 issue is particularly interesting because it represents the inaugural year of the first Singapore decimal coinage series. Coins from the first year of issue are often more desirable among numismatists, especially if they are found in high-grade conditions such as extremely fine or uncirculated. While circulated examples are quite common and may only carry modest market value, well-preserved specimens with minimal scratches, original mint luster, and sharp detailing can command higher prices in the collector's market. Coins with minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual planchette defects can be significantly more valuable depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Over the years, the 1968 Singapore 20 cents coin has become a nostalgic piece of Southeast Asian monetary history. Although it was produced for regular circulation, it now serves as a reminder of Singapore's early steps toward economic independence and modernization. Today, collectors often seek out coins from this era to complete historical sets representing the country's first official currency series. The value of the coin depends largely on its condition, rarity of specific minting varieties, and demand within the numismatic community. A typical circulated example might be worth a small premium above face value, whereas an uncirculated or error coin could potentially be worth several dollars or more in international coin markets. This makes the coin not only a piece of everyday currency from the past but also a collectible artifact reflecting the origins of Singapore's financial identity in the late 20th century. As time passed, coins like the 1968 Singapore 20 cents slowly began to disappear from daily circulation due to modernization of currency systems and the introduction of newer coin series with updated security features and smaller sizes. However, older coins from the first series were never completely forgotten, especially by collectors and history enthusiasts who value them as physical reminders of Singapore's early economic journey. Many of these coins eventually found their way into personal collections, antique markets, and online auctions where their historical importance often outweighs their original monetary value. Another important factor that can influence the desirability of this coin today is its condition after more than 5 decades. Coins that have been stored carefully in albums or protective holders often retain their original shine and detailed engravings, making them more attractive to buyers. Even slight differences in wear, toning, or surface marks can affect how much a collector is willing to pay. Some examples may develop a natural patina over time, which many numismatists actually appreciate as it reflects authenticity and age rather than damage. In recent years, interest in vintage Southeast Asian coins has increased due to growing awareness of regional history and expanding online marketplaces that connect buyers and sellers across the world. Because of this, coins like the 1968 Singapore 20 cents are sometimes sold individually or as part of complete early series sets. While it may not be considered extremely rare in circulated form, it still holds sentimental and collectible value, particularly for those building collections based on first-year issues or coins from newly independent nations. Ultimately, this coin stands as more than just a small denomination of currency. It represents a foundational era in Singapore's development when the country was shaping its financial independence and international identity. Holding such a coin today is like holding a small piece of history that once played a role in everyday transactions during a time of national growth and transformation. In addition to its historical and collectible significance, the 1968 Singapore 20 cents coin also reflects the technological standards of minting during the late 1960s. At that time, minting processes were advancing to allow for more consistent coin production, ensuring that each coin met strict weight and size specifications for use in automated machines such as vending systems and counting devices. The reeded edge and precise diameter were not only meant for durability but also helped prevent fraud by making it more difficult to alter the coin's physical structure without detection. These features were especially important for a young nation aiming to maintain trust in its new currency both domestically and in international trade environments. Furthermore, coins from this period were often produced in large mintages to support expanding economic activity as Singapore's population and commercial sectors continued to grow. This means that while the coin is historically important, its rarity in circulated condition is relatively low compared to commemorative or limited edition issues. However, this wide circulation also adds to its story, as each coin may have passed through countless hands in markets, shops, transport systems, and small businesses over the decades. Every scratch or sign of wear can be seen as a mark of the coin's journey through everyday life during Singapore's early years of rapid industrialization and urban development. Today, collectors often examine such coins under magnification to look for subtle differences in strike quality, die alignment, or surface texture that could indicate unique minting characteristics. Even slight variations can sometimes distinguish one batch from another, adding an extra layer of interest for those who specialize in early Southeast Asian coinage. Whether kept as part of a curated collection or simply as a keepsake from a defining moment in monetary history, the 1968 Singapore 20 cents coin remains a tangible link to the foundations of modern Singapore and its steady rise as a global financial center. If you truly love rare coins and hidden values, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rare Coins Value, because the next valuable coin could be in your pocket.